When you're ready, ask me for a box of these machine heads. Okay, that's what they're called, to tighten the strings. Open it up and pour out all the parts, being as careful as you can not to lose any of them. So a bag of little parts, then these just pop right out. All right, these are going to go in the bottom side here, but you can see that they're really loose. So there's some inserts that go in first. Just take the bag, pop everything out. Remember, don't lose the screws. They're very tiny screws. So we lay these aside. We're gonna turn your ukulele over on end. These little inserts, they're kind of ribbed on the sides. And what you want to do is put these in on the top so the ribs are facing downward, and they should push in fairly tight with your hand. Then just whack them in with a mallet. Now for the machines themselves, flip it over. Gonna move the screws out of the way. Now, obviously, the handle here has to go on the outside so you can get to it. That's obvious. But it'll work this way or it'll work this way. So which way is correct? This part is kind of up to you, but at least let me say, from the center, or I should say from where this knob is, you can see that this half sticks out further than this end. So because the end of this is so close to the taper, I want to put the shorter end, the end that has less space below the knob itself. I want to put the shorter end at the base, so it's sticking up higher. Okay, and we'll grab its matching set. It's opposite, so they're actually opposite each other. They're not all the same. Put it in the same way. The trick is keeping them straight. I mean, you certainly don't want to put them at an angle or opposite so it looks weird. There's an easy way to get them straight is twist the handles so they're vertical. Okay. Take a piece of wood, just something straight. It could be a ruler, it could be anything, and lay it across. And if this board is touching here, 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 and here, all four of them, then I know that they're parallel with each other. So I'm pressing down against them so they can't move. They're tight against the brackets here and here. Then you can either take a pencil, I'd probably just take a pencil and draw where those screws at the bottom. Now I'm covering the screws at the top right here. I know that, but that's okay. I can take this off now and I can put it in the right place by hand because I can see it, and now draw in the other side. Just try not to let it move. And there we go. I can pull those out. Take a scratch awl, okay, with a sharp tip, put it right where those marks are and give it a little push. And that's important because sometimes when you drill, the drill bit will want to wander a little bit out of where you want it to go. All right, put that one a little bigger. Great. Then you can move them up and repeat, doing exactly the same thing. Put the piece of wood right there, holds them in place, and mark them again. And if you like, if it's easier, I could even put a hole in while I'm holding it in place. They both work just fine. There we go. Then take it off and do the exact same thing. All right, now we're going to drill it. Now, which drill bit is right for these really tiny screws? Well, when you find my drill set, okay, it's this particular set, the one with all the smallest drills. So for me, I found that, a couple different sizes will work if the wood is soft enough, but I grab drill number 51. I know you can't see it on the camera, but there's numbers all across the bases of these. Number 51 seems to work very well for me. Stick it in the drill bit, the drill, and tighten it up. So it's in, it's ready to go. Now we have to worry about how deep to go. So at this point, we take one of the screws, and I pull off a tiny piece of tape, and I put the screw up to the end of the bit, and I just tape a little higher than the bottom of that bit. I kind of want the tip of the screw to dig in a little in the wood, so I don't drill so deep that it's completely empty. I want it to bite a little bit more. So this, at this setting, it should be able to go in a bit. My biggest fear, obviously, is I don't want to drill all the way through the head. I don't. So we put it right there and drill. And you can hear I'm not pulling the trigger very far. It's very slow drill. Because it's easy to go too fast. There we go. Then go ahead and start putting your machines in. Grab a screwdriver that has a very sharp point that will actually work with these tiny little screws and screw them in. Be careful not to over tighten. We don't want to over tighten these screws and strip them out. If you do, let me know. There are a few things we can do to put a shim inside the hole to tighten it up a little bit. It's just harder later on. It's easier if you get it right the first time. Go all the way around and get all your screws in. When you're finished, please make absolutely certain to put the bit back because everybody needs it and I don't have a whole lot of the same size. Stick it back in number 51. Make sure it's ready for the next student.